Greetings beautiful people, welcome back to Uncle Lou's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making vegan feta and red pepper quiche. I'm making a large one for the family and you can slice it up and it will keep for the week in the fridge. So, we're going to start off with 4 packs of silken tofu. The type that comes in a cardboard box. The reason we do this is because it's got the most amount of moisture and it doesn't dry up. So, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of black salt, that's going to give it the eggy flavour, and 1 teaspoon of regular salt. 1 pack of vegan feta cheese. We're going to be using about a tablespoon or so of vegan Parmesan cheese for the extra cheesy flavour. 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 onion, finely sliced, 1.5 red bell peppers, some fresh thyme and some chives. Let's get cooking. Now, it's very important to let the tofu sit because you want to drain it out and get rid of any excess moisture. So as a first step, we're going to blend in our tofu, cornstarch, nooch, salt and pepper. And also we're going to go in with our vegan Parmesan. Okay, so we've got our mix, it's nice and creamy. I'm just going to start adding in the turmeric now. We only want to add it in for the colour. It's healthy as well, so it doesn't really harm it. But you don't want to overdo it as well, because turmeric can be bitter. I'd say use about a total of a teaspoon in that. Okay. Now, our vegan feta cheese. Let's fold that in. Now, the reason you're not going too heavy on the regular salt is because this stuff is very, very salty as well. Get some thyme. I'm going to go against the twigs. Just going to add in some chives. And that will do. Now let's get frying. Okay, so I've got some oil in the pan. We're going in on a medium flame here. Now, I'm not adding any salt in here. Don't forget, the quiche itself is going to be quite salty because of the vegan feta cheese. Add in. And we're going to wilt these down. About 10 minutes have passed. And the peppers are going slightly soft. Okay, now, you can choose at this stage if you want to add them into the mix. If you do it now, they'll still have some little tiny bit of crunch left. If you want them sloppy completely, the red peppers, then just keep them going for just a little bit longer. And that should be good to go. So add that all in. Okay, and we fold. Now for the crust. Store-bought. If there's one thing I hate in this world, more than anything, it's short crust pastry. I cannot stand it. I hate working with it. Buy it from the store. It's vegan anyway, by default. If you really want a recipe for this, check out my flan video. I made one in that. Again, it's an absolute nightmare to work with, so just buy it. Although at home you can probably make it a bit healthier than what it is in the stores. Alright, give me a minute. Just gonna trim around the edges like that. Doesn't have to look pretty because you can mold it and you're going to make it the way you want, right? So I'll be back once it looks all nice and neat. Basically, you're just going to press it into the mold and fill out any gaps. Okay, so bear in mind the inside. Don't worry too much about how that looks, right? As long as you've patted it down, this is all cosmetics. So it's the outside ridges that are going to give it the nice effect. The inside, don't worry too much. Don't even bother trying to make this look perfect. As long as you've got a kind of consistent thickness on the outside, that's going to be fine. Now, with your fork, stab this down. Okay, that's to prevent any bubbles. Okay, in the meantime, I'm preheating my oven on 180 degrees C. Again, I should know this by now, but I can't remember what that is in Fahrenheit. But we're going to put that in a preheated oven for around 10 minutes just to give it a first initial slight bake. Okay, so after about 10 minutes or so, you'll see that it starts to sink. That's absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. We just wanted the initial dry out on the bottom. Now, sometimes they sell these little pebbles that you can put in there. I really need it. There's a workaround. Like I said, I absolutely hate working with short crust, but For this you kind of need it, so I'm just going to grab my fork, raise it back up. Alright, that's that. Let's fill it in. Just going to start filling that in. This is either going to look really pretty or really cheap and shite, but hopefully we can make it pretty. Alrighty, we're going to put that back in the oven now for 180 degrees C for about 45 minutes. Right, just before we continue, there's two things to note. The tofu that you use depends on the texture that you like. I like mine fairly runny like that, a bit loose, so I'm using silken tofu. If you like yours stiff, then use firm tofu. Secondly, I'm making a deep dish quiche. This is going to be thick. If you like yours thin, just use half the ingredients. Are you ready? Look at that. Marvelous. Right, so that's come out of the oven. That's been in there for about 45 minutes. Let this chill completely. Do not touch it, whatever happens. Okay, once I can get that to room temperature or even cold, the better, because that's then just going to let everything solidify and go back into place. Let's let that sit for a bit. Alrighty, folks. So the quiche is cooled down to a little bit warmer than room temperature. I'm going to slice a bit open and show you what it looks like. Yes. Nice. See, I like quiche being deep. Alright, so this is how it's come out. As you can see, it's fairly eggy in the middle. And there you have it, folks. Vegan, red pepper and feta quiche, deep dish. Very, very nice. It's nice and creamy on the inside. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, folks. If you did, hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I will love you for it. Ciao for now, folks. Have an amazing week ahead.